Welcome to this channel. So after I share the YouTube on proper Wing Chun stance, which support proper breathing, many of our Wing Chun friends and traditional Chinese martial art friends message me asking me, why is Wing Chun Kuen so messed up? Even the very basic is distorted for majority of Wing Chuners. So I like to respond or to answer the questions in public so everybody have the same answer. It is not just Wing Chun is so messed up. If you look at Chinese Kung Fu, most of Chinese Kung Fu is a mess today. If Chinese Kung Fu is not a mess, you will not give Xi Xiaodong the opportunity to expose the fake Kung Fu. That shows how messed up it is. Look at China. Have anybody go answer Xi Xiaodong? Well, you don't need to fight Xi Xiaodong. Seriously. As I share with you guys in this video on the, for example, Kung Fu 1560, you just brought this to China, to Xi Xiaodong. You say that, can you please tell me, sir, which part of this Kung Fu by Chiguang is fake by today's standard? Nobody need to fight. Why do you need to fight? Fight is between two persons, like Chiguang said in the Kung Fu 1560. You spar, you fight, you want to find out whether the techniques works or not. That is not to prove the system work or not, or so forth, or Chinese Kung Fu is real or not. The entire document is here. It's like when people say, hey, you know, your physics is fake. Well, you brought the Sir Isaac Newton's principle to say, can you tell me which part of the Sir Isaac Newton principle is fake? Of course, if you don't practice that, there's not Sir Isaac Newton's problem. It's your problem, right? So Chinese Kung Fu have this following three deadly screw up. It is there for 100 years, okay, including Wing Chun. The first thing is the so-called hand misleading. The Kung Fu hand misleading. If you go watch the Kung Fu presentation, you will say like Wing Chun, we have the Tan, the Bong, and then Fok. So when they punch me, I'm going to punch Bong Fok. Or I'm going to use this hand. If a Tai Chi, I'm going to use Peng Jing. Have you ever seen that in the real life? In a fight? 1560, General Chiguang is writing, tell you don't do that. He said that 不招不驾, do not parry, do not against. Why do you want the hand to touch it? So hand try to touch the other guy's punch is like what? It's like you try to, like the Zen saying, you try to step the flowing water twice. Like many say, you know, when the Western boxer jab at you, you want to go on the other side, and then you know, and then you just doing the lap sao or whatever, you know, or jia shou, okay, or all kinds of stuff. The Chinese language, not just even in Wing Chun. And then you say, well, if you jab at me, you go to the side, don't in the front, because that punch is there, and then you want to jia here. and then you're going to shoot in here. What will it works? It never works. So the Kung Fu hand, everybody is teaching their student Kung Fu hand. Like in the movie. Oh, Wing Chun have this hand. And then the Xing Yi has this hand. Tai Chi have his hand. Oh my God, are you talking about real life or what are you talking? Now you do not follow General Chiguang's teaching. That's the bottom line. So the first mess up is Kung Fu people do not follow their ancestor, do not follow their history, do not follow their real Kung Fu teaching. That's what happened today. Okay? In Chinese, everybody like to say 尊师重道, respect your teacher and you really take serious on what you're learning. In fact, our General Chiguang have wrote an article saying that if you do not following the instructions of your teacher, you are not going to get good result. And that article is like in today's college, everybody take the class in college, you better follow your teacher or else you are going to get failed, you're going to learn nothing. That's exactly what, if you want to use today's language to present what General Chiguang said. But you heard all in the movie, and everybody is going to talk to you about this 尊师重道, respecting your teacher and following the Dao. But no, respecting the teacher is what? Give me more red package. Following the Dao is become a cult member. That is no longer General Chiguang stuff. Okay? So this is the reality. You're going to teach all this hand and all this kind of thing. So is Wing Chun hand Tan Bong Fok? No, Wing Chun don't do those kind of things. Wing Chun is that you have to be really careful that can you get close to him? Like, how can you get close? If you cannot get close, your sun punch will not work. Your sun punch will not work against a jab this far. Face it. Before even you touch, your sun punch cannot face a round horse kick. So you need to go in. That's number one. Not your Tan Bong Fok or all these hand techniques. Those are not what people think today. Okay? So the Chinese do not read their own history, do not follow their ancestor teaching. So somebody might say, oh, you know, Hendrik, you're bad-mouthing. No, I'm not bad-mouthing. Why we use General Chiguang as standard? If you don't like me, I'm just a messenger. Go face Chiguang. Okay? Not to mention that Chiguang is the national hero of China. Face him. Which grandmaster in past 460 years is better than him? In records. Look at his war efficiency. Meaning that when they go out to the war, how many of his people die? How many percentage of the people die? His people die less than 90%, less than 10% when he brought the army up. That's how good he trained it is. Look in the history. Okay? So he lost less than 10% of his people, always. While he wiped out the Japanese pirates and so forth. Read the history. So that type of efficiency, that is Chinese Kung Fu. Not all this hand technique stuff. The second thing is the internal Qi misleading. Prior to I share with you the breathing yesterday, make believe you don't see that video. You look into all this, it doesn't matter, it's Tai Chi or Wing Chun, whoever talk about Qi and mind power. Can they even breathe? That's why I mentioned on the video on a proper stand and breathing. They couldn't even know how to stand a proper 一级kam yong ma. You don't do pigeon toe, okay, or 内八字 to clamp your butt. Why do I know? First is the ancestor is called it 二字前阳嘛, clamping yang stand, meaning that you must not do the pigeon toe. The second thing is, as I shared with you yesterday, scientifically we today know in science how to rehab that pelvic floor muscle. Of course I try it. So whenever I'm saying something, of course I'm trying it. And of course all this research from where? All this research money from where? You buy my books, it go to this, okay? So I can fund it myself. I don't have to rely on anybody. I can tell you the truth. So if you don't have your breathing take care of, you don't have your muscle endurance, you don't have your cardiovascular endurance developed, oh my God, what are you talking about? You're standing there, practice Yu Lim Tao for 1 hour, you can have power, where you don't know how to breathe, don't know how your anus working, or how your pelvic floor muscle working. If you stand that way for, say, 10 years, 20 years, or even the whole lifetime, and you have no idea on how your anus or tailbone works, that tell me one thing: you are clueless, okay, of your body. While the science for the rehab, how long do you think all this, the people using this in rehab be able to learn this properly? How long? Of course, this is using for rehab and so forth, right? Medical stuff. So in the West, you can have all this thing for a few hours of learning on training. If you don't use this type, you use this type. And you have this Chinese Kung Fu, like standing 一级考量嘛 for an entire lifetime, which you have no idea what the Western science do in a few hours or even less than 1 hour. You got a problem, you go to the hospital, the nurse teach you what to do. Am I right? Or the doctor, the rehab technician teach you how to do. So what Qi? Unless the breathing is not handled by per the Buddha's teaching, Anapanasati, Samatha, and Vipassana, you don't have Qi. Qi come after the entire body be able to function. I can share with you one thing. Yesterday I talked about the pelvic floor muscle, the diaphragm muscle. When one's get into the direction of samadhi in meditation, this diaphragm moving is really slow down because the breathing is slowing down. So at the end, you don't feel much on this top, but you feel slightly on the lower abs part. Those people who do some real practice meditation do that. And after a while, their breathing is so, the repetition is so low that it's like stopping breathing. But they are not stopping breathing. It's really going down to really deep breathing, but it is really fine breathing. Now, if you do not know how to handle your pelvic floor muscle, what the heck are you talking about Qi? Because Qi, the definition of Qi, is when you go approach Samadhi, your mind quiet down. while you're breathing, actually the pause between the exhale and inhale prolong. That is the part you get the real chi. Look into today. All this internal and Qigong and everything. How many people get that? Again, you want to shoot me? Sorry, I'm the messenger. Go read the Taoist scripture and the Buddhist Anapanasati. Okay? Can you prove that? Sure. Then, like Harvard University and so the prestigious university have do research on the yogic who can meditate and so forth. Don't you see the yogic yoga people, the guru be able to handle every part of their body, the muscle of their body? It's known, right? Yogic, the yoga guru be able to do that. Now you're standing in that E.G. clamping your knee, tucking your tailbone. What can you do? You turn into a what? A dummy. And you're thinking that dummy is going to make you chi and all this thing? You are not. So that's the second thing. And then you always say, you have to be Tai Chi, the yin and yang and all this kind of thing. Philosophy, and that's what the Chinese do for past 100 years. As last time I shared with you that even in 1930s, they want to get rid of those stuff. Okay. The last one is my style, my lineage, my way. As in 1930, those grandmaster in China want to get rid of this my style stuff. It's like what? See, this type of thing happened with Chinese Chinese in the past 100 years. They don't go read history, then don't go check with the science. For example, like the 1930s grandmaster, which I shared with you before, they know history, they know how that thing trained, like Ma Li Tang, who know the Qigong, and he still go check out with the Western medicine stuff. Okay. Now, but most of the people don't do that. Okay, so like Ma Li Tang, Grandmaster Ma Li Tang, well, Ma Li Tang is from Xingyi. Okay, so from the internal art people. So not all internal people is bad. Okay, in only today is somehow is screwed up already. Okay, so at the 1930s, they have the history, they have the science. They are really open-minded. They are like us today, to look into everything. So they want to change, but this group of people keeping brought out the internal magic, okay, and then the style. You know why people doing the style, my lineage, my way? Because style, lineage, my way is a good way to cover up for what I don't know. It's very simple. Like I do a Xiu Lim Tao in Wing Chun. If I don't know, I say this is the way my lineage is. So who's going to question? If other people from other style questioning the Wing Chuner, why do you do it that way? Then the Wing Chuner say, well, this is Wing Chun style. What do you know about Wing Chun style? Many people in the YouTube always like this. When I told somebody your this stuff will not work, and then they say, 100, you just only do Wing Chun. How can you know my style? Well, sorry, I read into your momentum and your cardiovascular and everything training. Why? Because I go through the scientific training. Okay, and I know what you do or not, what you not do. It's not about style. It's about science. So if they don't have science, they don't have history, they will say, sorry, this is Wing Chun style, or this is this style, or this is that style. You don't know about this style, so shut up. That's how it is. Okay? So they don't know about General Chiguang. They don't know about science, and they said just because of my style. So you shut up. The second, the same thing is lineage. Like in the Wing Chun, there's so many lineage. In other Kung Fu, the same. There's so many lineage. When people don't know things, they make up their own lineage. Like years ago, there are somebody who is using Ngo Chor base to create like the older Wing Chun. Just a kid ago. No history, no science, don't know what's going on. And the best way to tell you to shut up is, this is my lineage. My grandmaster teach me this way. My Sifu teach me this way. Okay? And then the last one is my way. Don't you see, in the past many decades, many so-called grandmaster in the West start to add in their Tai Chi and whatever they learn, name whatever it is, create whatever it is, say my way. Okay? So this is the problem. This is when people bring up style and cannot reason. Like if people ask a question, why is this happen this way? You can say, okay, this is by General Chiguang. This is how it is. This is belong to the Shortstrike. Wing Chun is a Shortstrike. However, it have the probing horse, which is the long fist stuff too, and then all kind of stuff. Explain it to you, and then be able to explain, say like the breathing, like I put in the Wing Chun Inception, the breathing is this way. Scientifically, we can measure it this way, the open and close and so forth. And then you say, well, the cardiovascular, like in the restricting Wing Chun, your cardiovascular, your muscular training and everything is equivalent today, and then the momentum handling and so forth. Instead of going there, people will go for their style. Okay? Instead of going for the common basic knowledge, education, they going for their style. So I apply this. So with the third one, my style misleading is my style, my lineage, my way. I create my own lineage in Wing Chun or whatever art or whatever system. My way. Okay, I'm the boss. What happened? There's no history, no science, copycat, or be creative on create what I want. So back down to everything. Did all those past 100 years, whoever do this, did they follow loyal to their ancestor, their culture? The answer is no, because they don't know. Did they loyal to science? The answer also no, they don't know. So what is this for? It's for themselves. So it's very selfish. So this is exactly the mentality prior to 1930s. You read Chinese history prior to 1930s, after the loss of the Taiping, the Qing dynasty people do that. Well, what is the use? We just get by. As soon as I get the benefit, it doesn't matter. So like that. So that's why you have all this mess. Now, I put it down here. It's like, no, am I Darth Vader against everybody? No. You want to restrict Wing Chun? You want to restrict Kung Fu? Disregard what style? You better go with the history and science. Or else there's no Kung Fu. There's no Wing Chun there left. None. And so let's not get into this. Oh, everybody has to respect their ancestor, has to following the Tao. Respecting ancestor meaning go read General Chiguang, what the ancestor do. Following the Tao, meaning that go read the restricting Wing Chun and the Wing Chun Inception, see how is the ancestor's teaching have mapped into science, and you follow the science. That is what respecting the ancestor and following the Tao or the teaching. Or else what are we doing? We are betraying the ancestor and the teaching. We just go our way. For what? It is a betraying our own culture. So in the West, we don't want to do that. We want to start fresh. We have enough technical information transfer to the West already. Like a few videos ago, I tell everybody, Asia, you guys do whatever you guys want. Okay, we live in a different world. We have a different value system. In the West, we need to stick with history and science, or else we will not survive. Because in the West, Xi Xiaodong is only learn something from the West to go back to China and how big a wave he have created. Look at in the West, Xi Xiaodong learned MMA from the West, right? So there are a lot of really talented genius in martial art in the West, from different nations, different race. That is the bottom line there. We need to be watch out. Wing Chun Kun is good. It's us who mess up. And of course, I'm telling you this is because like a doctor tell you what is the problem so that we can fix it. We can change. Not that I'm blaming people. And of course, this thing is also, as what I mentioned, that is due to Chinese, the China chaotic situations in the past 100 years. When the people have no education, no proper education, it's going to go like that. Because I'm going to follow you, you're going to follow other people, and you just go running around. So I'm not saying that this is a blame. I'm saying that we need to use the past for a better future. Past is past. You have your lineage, good. It's not too late to get into the history and get into the science. Make your lineage a real thing. Don't make it a fake thing, but make it real. Nobody stop you for the future. In the past, whatever we have done wrong, nobody can change it, but nobody can stop us to have a better future. That is what it is. So does the past generations of Sifu doesn't know on all this problem, on all this history and science problem? Let me tell you one thing. I graduated from high school age 17. That's where I got the Wing Chun riding from my Sifu Cho Hong Choi. And at that time, I was learning Kyokushin. I'm a member of Kyokushin at that time. And then when I leaving Penang, Malaysia to come to States, even I'm Indonesian, I study there in Penang, Malaysia. And then when I leaving for the United States, Chong Choi told me, okay, Chong Choi, my Sifu told me, you go to America, you need to open your heart, open your mind, and learn. You see, Bruce Lee, he learned so much and he has faced so many different opponents. This Kung Fu stuff is a growing thing. Okay? Always learn. Always be honest. That's what Chiguang told me. Oh, this is the 1850 quid. But you need to continue to learn, to watch, to study. Look at Bruce Lee, you know. There's a lot of is saying that one mountain have another mountain higher. That's what Chiguang told me. My Sihan, Jo Jin Tat Jin of Kyokshin told me, we train here, train hard, but in United States, you look at the United States, they even train more. They have new way of training. They are really good way of training. So when you go to America, look at our Kyokushin training. You can see, you can find they have a lot of very modernized or advanced training there. So be humble, okay? You only learn the basic from me. That is what Jojin, my Sihan, told me. So the old generation is really clear on what it is, okay? The issue is that is 1970s. There's not even Santa yet at that time. 1977, those time. Okay. And from 1977 until today, how many years passed? 87, 97, 2000, 40 something years passed. And it replaced with this. So I'm telling you this is because if we want to present the history, present it as it is. Am I God? No, I'm not God. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. It is the history and the science which is the bottom line. There's no grandmaster here. And so all this book, why I doing this? Well, I'm 60 something, I might die. Average lifespan of a diabetic type 1, born diabetic type 1, which is me, lifespan is 66 years old. I'm 62 already. I might die anytime. Okay? But this has to carry on. You guys have to carry on. So it is a responsibility. I do what I can do, and you guys have to go. It's like running a marathon. And whatever pass is pass. You don't blame. You just know, okay, we don't do this anymore. It's like the Hongga Iron Bridge 3, TQ3 story. The Hongga people put it up because they have big heart. They say, okay, this grandmaster, he do opium. This is not right. So our people later on know this. We learn from this historical lesson. Move on. So it is not the mess where we sit down and badmouth people and put down people. It is the solution. We know the problem. We know the solution. We take the solution and go. And you know, you want your way? Good. Be like Bruce Lee. Why not? You look at the Wing Chun. How many people practice Wing Chun? You said at least hundreds of thousands. Or you say, okay, at least tens of thousands. Well, if you know the history, you know the science, of course you're going to create more Bruce Lee. So be like Bruce Lee. Why be something like following whatever that the Chinese martial art grandmaster want to get rid of since 1930? Why? Why wasting life? So this is what I like to share with you today. Okay. Again, what I'm saying, not necessary that I'm right. So think about it, do the research about it. And I really seriously suggest you to read this book. Because this is the first book in the West, in English, to share with you what is really going on with Chinese Kung Fu. This is the bottom line. Okay? Without this, in the West, you don't have root for the Kung Fu. Because that chapter 14 of General Chiguang is it. And so you want to learn about short strike? What is a short strike art? Restricting Wing Chun. You need to learn that. That's from the Shaolin and so forth. So there is no grandmaster here. That is only history, facts, by evidence and science. Okay? Follow that too. And use our heart. Do things honestly, properly. If we do mistake before, that's okay. Change it. Nobody, no, I mean, I screw up too. I have screwed up a lot too. By everybody. So this is what I like to share with you. Okay? If you love Wing Chun or love Kung Fu, it is a time in the West we reform. In Asia, there are too much burden there. Too much orders, my style, my lineage, my way. I'm going to fight you. You want to fight them, but when Xi Xiaodong raised up there, nobody dared to say anything. And then the young Chinese in China, you look at how they think about Kung Fu. If we stand in the positions of Kung Fu and Wing Chun, we cannot afford that. Because it's like technology, those kind of thing is going to get wiped out. So finally, I want to tell you a teaching of the Nan Huaijing, the top scholar, late Grandmaster Nan Huaijing, who is the top Buddhist who be able to really have the Qigong and really, really knowledgeable from the ancient. He said is this: if you don't know the history, how can you know future? If you don't know history, how can you know future? So I like to share this with you today. Okay? Honest words hurts. But if we don't change, we have no future.